Sports Podcast. I said, welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast with Andy Ruther and Joe Crane. Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast.
Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Andy Ruther, coming to you live from Cincinnati, Ohio, with my co-host from Port Hueneme, California, Joey No Chill Prano.
Hello, Andy.
Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Yeah, man. It's we're almost here.
Where's almost here? Where's almost here?
We're almost to football.
Oh, football. Right on.
We're almost here.
We're almost. It's happening.
Which, by the way, I have a date night confirmed. Just to let
Ooh.
everybody know. Date night confirmed. Just texted with the significant other here, and we're going to start the Cowboys Dynasty doc tonight.
Oh,
Netflix.
interesting. I don't know if you know, but our boy Jeff Pearlman has been weighing in on the socials on the Cowboys doc. Basically, he wrote. I think you read Three Ring Circus, right?
I did read Three Ring.
Yeah, I didn't read Three Ring Circus, but he is vehemently shitting on Jerry Jones for any sort of claims that he had anything to do with the Herschel Walker trade. And I don't know if you've seen the clips. Have you seen the clip that have come out? But Jimmy Johnson basically also calls out Jerry Jones.
I have seen nothing. Like, I am going into this blind.
I've seen a brief clip of the Jerry interview, cutting back and forth with the Jimmy interview, and not cutting. Like, this is obviously a cut from the show where Jimmy Johnson's just like, part of my deal was I had full control, and Jerry Jones going like, he never had full control of the draft, and he never had, and I'm the GM and I'm the owner and I had to sign off on everything and blah, blah, blah. And Jeff Pearlman is just like, the idea that Jerry Jones is like claiming that he had essentially anything to do with the Herschel Walker draft or trade is insane.
Which that all makes sense then, because again, they were only good when Jerry Jones wasn't calling the shots. And then when they get rid of Jimmy Johnson, they haven't made an NFC Championship game since, let alone a Super Bowl.
Yeah. And obviously we get the Barry Switzer hang up the little Les Miles Barry Switzer year.
Yeah, you had the squad, man. You already had the team.
Yeah.
I could have coached those guys to a Super Bowl.
Yeah. In fact, if you look at a young Barry Switzer, you kind of did. It was basically, you got Barry Switzer vibes.
Yeah. Well, I'll have to look more into that. I wasn't sure where you're going with that. I was like, oh, is it just going to be? And I don't know who's produced it. I was like, is this just a total puff piece?
Well, I thought it was going to be, because you're like, why are we doing why now with the puff piece? Why now with the Cowboys doc? Hopping on the thing. But
so you've watched it?
No, I haven't.
Okay,
I've just seen clips. And back to, I gotta, if there's one prop I gotta give to TikTok, their algorithms. You like you even watch a video all the way through. They're like, oh, you like that?
Yeah.
So I watched a Jeff Pearlman, who I follow, video all the way through about Jerry, Jimmy, Herschel Walker deal. And then I scroll and they're like, you like that? Oh, here's a clip from the doc of them going back and forth. So like in 10 minutes, I got like, TikTok was like, you're into this documentary. How about watching the whole thing in 90-second bites? And I was just like, it's out of order. But so I've seen a bunch of this stuff, but I haven't sat down and watched it. So you have a date night with your lady. She's going to come home from work tonight. You put the kids to bed. You get into a little Michael Irvin and cocaine.
For sure.
Are you going to put on the white 3-piece suit?
The thing when you have kids is like, put the kids to bed is like, let's air quote that shit, because we also have 2 kids who've battled stuff this week. Ear infection number 2 already from Molly, and Isla vomited literally everywhere the other night and then slept in it.
And then slept in it.
Yeah.
Also young Andy Ruther vibes.
No, you never. Again, I won't go too far. You know, I won't. Again, I'll just do a shameless plug. Andy Ruther show. I go into it. Never have I seen anything ever. What I witnessed when I pulled her out of bed Wednesday. Like insanity. Going back to the tape, watching the camera, being like, "This is how this played out this night."
Going back to watching the tape,
Yeah,
just Dan Orlovskying the tape.
just
You can
Dan
see here she's in a
Orlovsky
cover too, sleeping soundly, and now boom,
boom, daddy spaghetti and meatballs everywhere. Didn't know how to react. Stood up.
daddy's spaghetti on my sweater.
I mean, and the wall and every stuffed animal. I mean, it was.
Do stuffed animals get tossed in this mix, or everything has to get washed because he has like a relationship with these stuffies?
Well, the one who took it the hardest was the Roscoe stuffed animal who looks just like him. There was literally chunks of spaghetti and meatball stuck in him. I went out with the hose, washed it before I threw it in the washing machine. It was that bad. Brittany's like, you can't get rid of this. And then after I washed it, it still smelled. She's like, And even I'm like, no, let's not. I was like, yes.
How about washing it and then throwing it in the dryer with like some lavender dryer sheets or something?
I was like, yeah, let me see what I can do. But it was definitely let me put it this way. I saw one time guy on couch when I lived with him. He popped his head up off the couch over like an area between my bed and the couch and hurl vomit just in this like space. And then he went back to sleep, and that was pretty bad. And the truth is, I was also drunk and hungover, so I saw it and just went back to sleep, which is pretty disgusting. That was like nothing compared to that's the thing about kids. A 2.5-year-old, to think you could vomit everywhere and then roll around in it for 4 or 5 hours.
Well, you know, I don't have kids, but obviously I'm a big dog lover, owner. People always will be like, bro, you'll never believe what my dog did. And I now have one of those. And you remember this when I was, I think, suspended briefly from Twitter or whatever for going hard at Rachel Ray because her dog food basically poisoned 2 of my dogs. But people will be like, dude, my dog shit everywhere. I go, my dogs shit on the ceiling. Make that make sense. How did dogs shit on the ceiling? Were they climbing the walls possessed when they shit on the ceiling? Or did they just diarrhea so viciously that it hit the ceiling? And so people will be like, yeah, man, it was pretty crazy. I go, you don't know crazy until Rachel Ray poisons 2 of your dogs simultaneously. And every time you leave the house, you come home to some sort of crime scene, but instead of blood, it's shit.
Yeah. I didn't know that. I didn't know that some feces hit the ceiling.
Oh, yeah.
How is that possible?
Honestly, I think it was, and I saw it happen a couple times. Like Vince would like shit fart and it would like shake. He would be like, whoa, it was like rocket powered.
Yeah.
He was like getting pushed by it. I mean, so yeah, he just got, and I was tweeting at Rachel Ray. I was tweeting like death threats at Rachel Ray because I fucking looked up her dog food and she had onion as one of the ingredients, which I don't know if you guys know, but a lot of dogs are fucking literally deathly allergic to. Don't feed your dog onions. Don't feed your dog Rachel Ray dog food.
What made you get Rachel Ray dog food anyway?
It was like one of those things where it was like, they're out of food. Everything's closed. You go to fucking 7-Eleven and you're like, I'll get this bag of food to hold them over for a day till I can get to Petco. This is pre-Uber Eats.
Yeah.
And then I didn't know that Rachel Ray was out there in her lair trying to think about how to curb the dog population in America.
Her and Christy Nome should team up.
Yeah.
For a combined dog food. We have a guest today. Not right now.
I'm so excited for it.
Later in the show.
Yeah.
We're Jack Coyne on. Who you coached.
Who I coached, whose show I appeared on recently to do Track Star, who I coached him at his high school baseball team. Great creator, I guess. Yeah. Like I was gonna say, what is Jack? Jack's a host. He's a creator. He's got a lot of
content creator.
Yeah, a lot of different Instagram, TikTok, YouTube shows. But longtime friend and New York sports fan. and former player of mine. So stoked to have him pop on.
Well, we'll have him on in about 15 minutes, and I definitely we'll get some New York takes from him, and definitely want to talk. Because I saw it, guys. I see the tags. Like, we're gonna talk about the Giants QB situation. I've never seen, and I'll preview a little. I'll just say I've never seen a QB room with this much cringe, all in one QB room. And here's the irony: Russell Wilson's not in any of this.
Yeah, I don't. We don't look. We should save it, but I don't do any of the preseason stuff, which we've been over. Russell Wilson, I don't know. Did he not play last night?
I don't know. I have no clue. No clue.
Feels like he didn't.
Yeah, no clue. Because he to me is like, we talk about cringe.
He's Captain Cringe.
Yeah. It's like you throw him in the mix. I mean, it's just gasoline on a fire of cringe. But before we get to Jack, before we break down all that stuff, I have to give an update on the cheapness. The realistically, like, uncharted territories, I would argue, of cheapness of the Bengals owner, of their ownership group, their family.
I want to do something that I've rarely done over the 10 plus years on the show. I want to defend Andy Ruther.
About fucking time.
Yeah. Listen, it's an every decade thing. The all decade defending of Andy Ruther team. I think a lot of people, if they listen to this show casually or pop in and everyone, or just even like, they're like, we get it, Ruther. You're a secret Bengals fan / hater, and you're absolutely obsessed with their cheapness. And it's like, though the world at large doesn't care. But I would argue that at this point, and I'm not just saying with this thing, but like all the things combined, it's like they never do anything
to change it,
to deter people from talking about this. In fact, all they do, there's just like, Andy Ruther is this little spark he's the the little flame, the eternal flame. Andy Ruther is like this little eternal flame that's always burning for Bengals cheapness hate. And all they do is they come by and they dump gasoline on it regularly. Like, this story is insane.
It's insane. And by the way, it's already gaining traction. I've had multiple people tag me on Instagram of like, these aren't Cincinnati people, because you knew it was going to gain traction when you see it. And again, you're head scratching. I'm head scratching saying, this just shows how much they don't care. Again, like you're saying, everyone knows how cheap they are. They see it. It's the age of the internet. They don't care.
What's crazy is I think that ownership or whatever is so cheap that it's not even thought about. Like, do you think there's a conversation where they go, should we provide hotels for Boomer Esiason? And
let's get to it. Let's get to it. So the Bengals Ring of Honor ceremony, which, again, prime example of being cheap. They didn't start doing this till I think about 3 or 4 years ago, where they honor players who were prominent in their organization. Anyway,
sadder collection of people. Bengals Ring of Honor members or former Dirty Sports interns? Who's
Dirty Sports interns? It's not even close.
Sadder group?
It's not even close. Sorry, guys. I mean, at least you have, like, weirdly,
Anthony Munoz and Twerks with Wolves, probably their descendants probably go back to the same tribe.
This is true. Could be a little bloodline there. So their Ring of Honor is October 26th, and former, Bengals, who is a Ring of Honor, former MVP of the league, Boomer Esiason, got an invite, and it was so insane. So he's a New York guy. He's on what, WFAN?
He is on WFAN.
He read the invitation on air because he couldn't get over it. He couldn't get over the invitation.
An emailed invitation.
An emailed invitation, correct. So he wanted to read it on air. So I'm just going to read. I don't have video of it yet. The first thing I saw, by the way, about this was a Bengals fan who lives in New York. She was very cringe, but she was the first thing to post, and it was just blowing up quickly on Twitter. She's walking down Manhattan or somewhere, and she's like, I'm listening as a Bengals fan. I can't believe what Boomer just said on the radio. She's like, I can't believe what the Bengals are doing. So I'll just read verbatim what the invite email to Boomer said. Again, he read this on air. The Bengals organization is excited to celebrate our Legends community and kindly invite you and a guest to join us in celebrating Dave Lapham and Lamar Parrish on Ring of Honor weekend in October, culminating at our game on Sunday, October 26th, when the Bengals take on the New York Jets.
Perfect game for it.
Perfect game for it. And also, ironically, Boomer obviously played for the Jets as well. More details are below, and we kindly ask you RSVP no later than Friday, August 22nd. You and a guest can receive 2 complimentary tickets with an opportunity to purchase an additional one if you wish.
You can purchase the opportunity to purchase a third is via the SeatGeek app, where Jets and Bengals tickets will go for -$4. If you put in your credit card, you'll actually get a $4 credit for attending the Jets Bengals game.
And then this is the best part. If you are traveling in for the weekend from out of town, we have secured a block of rooms at the Renaissance Hotel at a preferred discounted rate. Rooms are limited, so please book directly for the early and best rate. We look forward to hosting you in the jungle for an unforgettable weekend. Don't hesitate to reach out to me or any guy on the staff with any questions. Thank you and Houday. And then Boomer's
this invite was just basically my wedding invite to people. Like, you're
basically
like, we got a block of rooms for you. Come, don't. You can come. You got a +1 if you want.
So I believe, again,
you want to bring your kids, let us know.
Yeah, they just started this. I believe, because it's so new, they only have 8 Ring of Honor people. So they didn't take the time to individualize 8 different emails on top of this. So Boomer's co-host, it's Boomer and Gio. Gio responded, I mean, your name is on the stadium, right? Obviously, his name's in the stadium because he's Ring of Honor. And they sent out that what seems to be an email that went to, just 8 people, he said.
Yeah.
They're doing this.
There's got to be other. Yeah. Okay. Whatever. Not 100 people.
No. Boomer is not going, he said. So the Bengals, again, 8 people, did not offer hotel, did not offer airfare, did not offer very cheap things as far as what they make as a franchise. To again, arguably, as someone who grew up in Cincinnati, I mean, the echelon of Bengal great quarterbacks is literally Burrow, Boomer. Boomer's above Carson Palmer. Again, Boomer won an MVP. Boomer took him to the Super Bowl.
Could you argue Boomer's ahead of Burrow still for now? MVP and a Super Bowl appearance.
I mean, what's the talent wise? No, of course, but
right.
What are you saying as far as
I'm just saying, as far as their legacy as Bengals, both of them made it to a Super Bowl, which is that immediately puts you in the. It's immediate. The class is now immediately just you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, what, Ken Anderson or whatever? Who else?
Ken Anderson won an MVP and went to the Super Bowl.
Okay.
So he's in the Ring of Honor too.
Yeah.
And they've always argued he's one of the guys who he has always, from what I've seen, I don't know, again, before my time, he has always been, they've always said, a borderline Hall of Famer from his era. So it's yeah. So
well, I guess I'm talking about as far as legacy goes, Burrow getting to the Super Bowl already leaps him into that.
For
he
sure.
Doesn't have an MVP though.
No.
And it feels like Burrow's got another Super Bowl run in him at some point.
Yeah.
Maybe
for sure.
an MVP run in him at some point.
Yeah.
And I think also the thing is, Boomer, I gotta imagine, didn't amass that many. Like, is Joe Burrow gonna break like Bengals records like
pretty early
2 years from now?
Yeah, and you probably won't. Maybe you will or won't be surprised. Like Andy Dalton, because of has I think the most passing yards for team history.
Right.
Just as he started long enough in obviously a different era. Yeah. So I mean, look, the whole thing again is like this is what I would say. This is what I would say to somebody like Justin. We actually texted her, and I was not trolling him. He knew it. I just said, how can you support these guys? And his response was, I support the players, not the owners, which, you know, I guess you can say, and I've heard people say that it's this what he's doing to me, or I'm sorry, what the Brown family is doing. Like, this is no different than how they treat the fans or caring about winning, right? It's no, like, if you don't care about, right? Because again, I like to break things down.
Well, that I think
he's a former employee who was very good. Like let's break things down outside of sports. He was a former employee who was great. Take care of the guy.
I think the other thing too is when you look around sports, there's almost no championship teams that win in spite of their ownership. I mean, you even look at, my Knicks that have really turned things around with the change in their front office, but they still haven't gotten over the hump.
Yeah.
They still have a disastrous owner. Like the Dodgers changed ownership. They won. The Commanders, like total change of ownership, totally new franchise. We see this all across sports. And it's like the sad part, if you're a Bengals fan, is you're right there. You made a Super Bowl. You've got a guy that you're already talking about is maybe the best quarterback you've ever had in team history. You've got a guy that people have as a front runner for MVP every year. You have talent. What's the difference between you winning and you not winning? And it's like, when you get to the Super Bowl, it's a little bit of luck, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Things just got to break your way one way, and when you have bad ownership, you're starting 10 yards back in a fucking 40-yard dash.
Well, you are. And like you said, I mean, look, the margins are so thin in the National Football League. They really are, between winning and not winning. Not just the Super Bowl, but winning your division, winning in the playoffs, whatever it is. It's because there's so much talent.
Well, again, I got caught in a Cowboys TikTok algorithm, but Tony Romo was like, we had teams that were one play, one quarter, one moment away from being Super Bowl teams. Hard to blame Jerry Jones for like us being like, and I'm like, I don't know. Maybe you could say that is like that. It's that little thing, and you don't have a good owner.
Yeah, he's a bootlicker anyway. Like I mean, he is. Like, let's just call it what it is, which is fine. Like it's a financial thing for for Tony Romo with Jerry Jones, I'm sure, as far as like, he's not gonna go against his old owner. But real quick, I want to play a call. Be Indigo.
Okay.
Lifelong Cincinnatian, Bengals fan. He can't take it anymore. I'm gonna play a quick call. This is where he's at as far as with the Bengals.
Yeah, what up, bro? It's B again. My bad. I keep calling, but I keep having these thoughts. I wanted to balance out all the Bengals delusion. Because Andy always talking about how he's always running the Bengals fans that like have all this optimism and shit. I don't know like where he be meeting these niggas, but for the record, like, I gave up my season tickets because I couldn't take it no more after last season. After all that heartbreak, I'm an emotional person, and I couldn't get myself up to keep doing that shit. And I think we're gonna be trash this year. I guess like motherfuckers is online talking about 9, 10, 11 games, but I wouldn't be surprised if we won 6, 7, 8. I ain't gonna lie, that defense is so fucking trash, bro. And the offense can only do so much. Like, what you gonna score every time? We tried to do that against Baltimore, and that nigga scored right in my fucking face. Jaden Daniels did the same thing. Every fucking heartbreak at home happened in my face on my end zone. So I ain't got no faith in the Bengals. I'm just gonna take it week by week. Go Buckeyes, man, because like that's the only hope we got for Ohio right now. Go Buckeyes, because UC sucks too. Because condoms is for whoever, man. It's depressing over here.
That is a
I like
broken
that he
man.
started out with like having these thoughts. You're like, sounds suicidal.
Well, look.
Like as a Bengal fan, having these thoughts again.
First of all,
all right.
I'll say this to him. I applaud him. What do I say on this show constantly? I think it's so hard for fans to just say, no, I'm not doing it anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I think that's way harder than to just go back every week. You're going through, like he's saying, emotional stress. So kudos to you, man. You should be proud of yourself. Like, I'm not trying to be a therapist here, but like that's step one. That's like the step one. Now, I don't necessarily agree with you as far as 6, 7, 8, like maybe 8. Like, I think they're still going to be. They won 9 games last year. My prediction, and I'll just a quick preview for going into NFL season. I don't think they win more than 10 games. I'll just say that. Like if they went 10-7, that's 1 game better than last year. I wouldn't be shocked. Now, do I still think we're going to be 9-8? 8-9, that situation for the Bengals? Yeah. But look, man, I'm glad you're there. And I'm sure you see stories like this. Right, like if you were paying money for something and you're like, my owner's not even going to take care of one of my greatest quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Why am I throwing thousands of dollars at this guy? Which, as you said, like with the Knicks, all organizations, it's very tough to overcome a bad owner. In fact, I don't know off the top of my head like a really bad owner where a team has won a title recently.
I'm sure it's happened, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard.
So hang in there, B. I know you left a few other calls. We'll get to those in another episode. And don't worry, the call you're like, I don't know if Andy's going to play it. I'm going to play it. I'll tease that. I see Jack is sitting. He's sitting in the queue.
Let's go.
Jack is ready. Jack Coyne's in the queue. Let's bring on Jack here.
Wow. Oh my God, I'm live.
I mean, I can't believe we have you here. I knew we would get you one day, but once you hit us with the Kith modeling shots, I was like, we've missed it. We've missed our window. My boy is a model at this point. I'm not getting him anymore. Look at this.
The best part about this is the other guys who are in this shoot are actually famous. And like, it's all like really famous people and professional athletes. Like it was like Malik Neighbors, Jack Coyne.
Yeah. A bunch of people are like, who the fuck is this guy?
What's going through your mind right here, Jack? Like what's this serious post?
First of all, they're like the photographer is like an Australian guy, and Ronnie Feig's like in the back, and the photographer is like, all right, mate, just serious face, man. And I'm like, all right, serious. I'll move the mic a little bit, and I hear Ronnie in the back, like, what the fuck is this guy doing? I'm like, I don't know. This is my first time. I don't know. This is not natural. It's not a natural thing to just stand really still. And they're like, you can move, but they were like, don't smile. Like it's weird when you smile. I'm like, I'm a smiling guy. So everyone else in their pictures is smiling, and I'm like doing this serious.
You're the happiest, smiliest, friendliest guy, and they've got you doing that.
I look like I just killed somebody.
You
I'm
look like
you're at the body.
You look like you're somehow on a taller building than the World Trade Center, and you're watching 9/11 happen. You're like, what's going on down there?
Amazing, absolutely amazing. Yeah, you know, Prano had that ready to go. He's like, you better put up these modeling pics.
I also have this ready to go, and I don't have a whole lot of gold ones left, but I'm cracking a gold one in honor of Jack's.
Oh wow!
It's first Saturday out here. We got to get a gold one going.
Well, Joe, let's talk. Well, where do you want to start? Because you and Jack have a history, and then we can talk about Trackstar. We can talk about all the content and amazing stuff Jack's doing. I don't know if you want to kind of tee it up as far as your guys.
We talked about, for anybody who's been listening regularly, we talked about my appearance on Trackstar. Was that a couple months ago now? And
iconic appearance.
Bro, you are on a run. You're on a run of iconic.
It started with you.
It started, man, and then you had Spike and ASAP Rocky the other day. You had Batiste today, and then we got to talk about the GOAT of GOATs, the Michael Jordan and LeBron James together of Trackstar, Sue.
She actually took $10,000. That's real. People are like, oh, what do you do? Why do you make up the money? I'm like, the money thing's not made up. It was a terrible decision when we started, and I actually had to give Sue over $10,000.
That's
she
wild.
she told me, oh, I'm not gonna know that much music, and then she just runs the table. Terrible. I got played by Sue.
So
And I did the same thing. I was like, we're going for charity today. And then all of a sudden you were like, I'm going to give you the first track of on every artist's list from the 80s. And I was just like, I feel bad. Should I Venmo Jack half of this money for charity?
so how's this all start? Like how like take me behind your mind.
Yeah.
Like how do we get to Trackstar and then obviously it blows up and then kind of the rest is
Okay.
history. But like you have the idea, Jack, or are you just like, maybe we should try,
Yeah. So before like you could have the idea, we had to like create the infrastructure to make it possible so that we could create a show that we can make consistently and build up an audience over time. So like the first part of making the infrastructure is I started a company with my brother and another friend, and we're doing advertising work to like pay the bills. And then on the side, in our free time, we're like coming up with ideas for shows we can do on short form on TikTok. And so the first show that like we go out one time to try and shoot something, and I'm like going up to somebody with a microphone. I'm like, hey, can I talk to you? And it's this like old guy in East Village. I'm like, this guy's gonna be awesome. He's like 80. He's gonna have a story. And I'm like, what's up, man? And he's like, hey, yeah, I'll talk to you. What do you want to know? And I was like, how you doing? He was like, I'm good. How are you? And I'm like, I'm good. Do you like? Are you having a good day? And the guy's like, what the fuck are you talking about? So then I realized I needed something to talk to people about. You need to keep the train on the tracks. So we went back again. I was like, let's ask people trivia questions about New York City. Cause I'm like looking out, I'm like, there's a lot of interesting stuff here. So that was our first show, Public Opinion NYC. And like, what was great about that is there was $100 cash prize if you got a certain amount of questions right. It was like Jeopardy meets what's the taxi cab, the one in the back of the cab where people look you up. Like
Cash
people had a
cab.
great time with that cash cab. But it wasn't universal enough. Like a lot of people are like, I live in New York, but I don't know anything. So I can't answer these questions. So it's hard to get people to like be on the show and be successful. So our second show was like, it needed to be more universal music. So I had the idea and the whole structure and the whole way it works, like played out in my head for like a couple months. And then it's like, okay, guys, show number 2, like today's the day, let's launch it. And right away, first episode, we're like, this is a hit show, just with a random person on the street, like playing on Taylor Swift songs. It was fun.
I was gonna say, so you start with random people, and then you grow your followers, you grow your base, and then is it like, hey, now let's go into celebrities and athletes and other people with big followings?
Starts with random people, and then the music industry starts to take notice, and they're like, oh, we got this artist, they'd be fun on there, can they come on the show? So they ask you, and then occasionally they're like, hey, we'll pay you to have this person on. You can't do that all the time, but every once in a while you can get paid to do that, which helps offset the cost of giving Sue $10,000. and then it goes beyond musicians into celeb, like Kamala Harris. We were at the DNC, and she's like about to walk on stage, and before she walks on stage to like give her speech about being the next president or trying to be the next president, she does Trackstar in the back. It's like, and then there's like athletes.
How long did you have with Kamala Harris? How long did you have with her?
It was like 85 seconds.
I was gonna say
it was really fast. I mean, I fully blacked out. They had me in the back for like 5 hours waiting for her to come on. And finally they're like, all right, she's coming. Like originally it was supposed to be 10 minutes, and they're like, she's running late. You have 3 minutes. And then like the whole time we're up there, they're like, end it. Let's go. So it's really intense.
Is that like the high water mark? Like Mark Maron on his podcast always talks about when he had Obama on, he was just like, oh, is being at the DNC and talking to Kamala the moment you were like, wow, this is like next level shit?
If she was the president now, yes, that would be the high water mark. But
Oprah,
it was at the time, it was insane. It was insane. There's been a few high water marks, like going to Sesame Street and like doing it with Elmo was
crazy
and surreal. But just a lot of people that have been like,
now, are you talking to Elmo or are you talking to Puppet? Like who we talking to here?
So there's a puppet on the ground.
I'm confused.
What's
your question, Andy? He's talking to Elmo. I saw it. He's talking to Elmo.
But I want to know. Prano, you have no clue. I'm in this world. I got a 2.5-year-old. So like I'm curious. So like, where's the person?
All right, I'm gonna leave while you try to ruin Elmo for me.
So yeah, cover your ears. So the guy who does Elmo, all the characters are sitting on these like little skateboard things that they have on the floor.
Okay.
So they're sitting on the ground, kind of cross-legged on skate, so they can roll around, and then they're just reaching up like this talking to you. So their arm is at like your head level,
Oh,
and you're
okay.
standing there, and they're kind of like sitting. So the guy's like, you're looking down. He's at your waist basically on this like little skateboard thing, and he's actually looking at a monitor on the floor. So he's seeing what the camera sees. So I don't know how. It's a crazy skill because he's kind of like looking backwards, right, talking to you and going off the fly, and then he has a microphone down here. And he's doing the voice. He was insane, so talented.
Yeah, because you got to be great at two. You have to be like elite at two things to be able to have that job. You've got to be the voice guy and the puppet guy.
Exactly. There's actually a second guy. So like he's controlling the face and one hand, and then another guy's controlling the other hand. So he's like, "Oh, I'm assisting. I'm the other hand guy." It was mind blowing to see how they did this. And obviously, it's been around for like over 50 years, right? Like
Ruther used to have a guy who lived on his couch that would be his other hand guy.
Yeah. Everybody needs one.
Everybody needs another hand guy.
So now it's the point with you. Are you just fielding who you want to come on Trackstar?
Yeah. So the way that it works is it's all any famous person, it's all inbound requests for people who want to come on the show. And then we kind of have to find people who aren't famous. We at least like seek out interesting people who'd be a good fit for the mix, or just like spend time in the street corner. But we have something like 50 to 100 a week requests of people who want to be on the show. So there's like 5 episodes. We couldn't possibly have everyone. So I don't feel that bad turning people down. But a lot of times the publicist is like, really? Like they have a huge following. And I'm like, we're just trying to curate, the best possible show and have the most, have a diverse. If you just did like 5 people in a row who all listen to the same kind of music, the same thing, and people get sick of it. So it's like, you got to keep mixing up.
Yeah, it was crazy when I remember the moment for me as a New Yorker and a hip hop guy. I even texted you when you had RZA on. I was like, bro, we have hit a new level. And I think it was like after you had Kamala and after you had, Oprah or whatever. I'm like, bro, this is some real New York shit. This is why you're doing New York modeling shots now, because like you have RZA on the street talking music with you. You're a fucking New York legend. And I said to you, I was like, how does one go about getting RZA? And you're like, everything is inbound.
Yeah.
Everybody's coming to us. And I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And
RZA was insane. It was also outside. The crazy thing about RZA, we shot outside Penn Station, and not a single person like stopped and said like, oh, it was cold. It was a winter, but not a single person stopped and said, oh, it's RZA. Oh my God. Like
not a bong from across the street or anything.
Wu-Tang was playing at Madison Square Garden down the street like a couple of days later, and no one said anything.
That's New York. That's why it's great that you do this in New York too. It's like, you see a million of these guys on Venice Beach, and it's like people crowding around them. What's going on in New York? People are like, bro, I'm fucking busy.
I might need to come out to Venice and cook though one time.
Now, I want to ask you about that. Like, what about? It feels like there's a lot of Jack pretenders now. I feel like there's a lot of people who are like, look at how this has gone. I'm going to do my version of this. Obviously, you're not the first guy to do man on the street shit, but I feel like you're the first guy that was like, hit the social media and was like, it's trivia. You can win some cash, or, you're going to continue to climb this ladder or whatever, as opposed to Billy on the street was just going around yelling at people and shit like that. Now I feel like everywhere you turn, somebody's doing Trackstar, but for this, Trackstar, but for that.
There's definitely a lot. I mean, there was a lot before me. So one of the earliest things we did when we were doing New York City trivia, like day one, we went out, I asked like, name the 5 boroughs, and someone like couldn't do it. They were like Chinatown. Like they were just saying stuff that was like dumb, but it was funny. So we clipped that, and the TikTok went like crazy viral, like day one of that show. But we all were like, oh, cool, we're going viral, we're getting these followers. But like, this doesn't feel good because it's just like this person said something stupid and everyone's making fun of them in the comments.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of these types of shows are. It's like, if you grab people off the street, it's easy to make people look dumb, and it's fun and it's funny and it's entertaining. But we were like, let's flip that and let's try and be nice. Let's try and be educational and entertaining at the same time. Can we provide some sort of value? Like, because people are just mindlessly like scrolling through it.
That's like, really great hindsight.
Some value in there. And people will say, oh, wow, I'm not just in like the doom scroll. I actually saw something that I learned. I gained some, value. It made me feel like a little bit better about humanity. So that's our approach. And hopefully that helps us stand out even as more people continue to come in. Also, I have now so many reps. So like I'm like years ahead of the new people just in terms of like comfort level and experience of how to talk to any different type of person who might be on the show. So when it comes time to talk to Spike Lee and he's like, I don't want to hear it, blah, 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 all this bullshit. I know how to like handle that and pull him into the conversation and get something great out of him. And I think someone starting a show today, it's a lot harder for them to be ready for that.
Yeah, that really is great that you would see that, because you're right. If you think about it, everybody's always like, look at this idiot. They don't know shit. Look at this
She
dork.
said she wants to spit on that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's, you can have a whole career off that.
I mean, you can for sure, but you're right. Like there is no learning. There's a million of those, and that's true. So when did Prano coach you? Can we get to this relationship? When did?
Yeah, let's bring it back.
Let's bring it back a little.
Okay, I have a great story. I actually have a great story about this. So this is in high school. I went to like an all boys prep school on the Upper West Side of Manhattan, and I was on the baseball team. And it goes back to like freshman year. It was like all 4 years of high school. He started off JV and then moved up, and the kid, everyone loved him because he was like 25 and we were like 15. You know what I mean? That's like, you don't want to talk to some 50-year-old like guy. And that was who like the real coach was, who was such an idiot. So Joe comes in. We all love this guy, super nice guy. We don't know anything about him except like he's the coach. He's like, clean cut. All right, guys, like hitting the dingo, whatever. And then at some point, like 2 years in, somebody Googles him for the first time. No one thought to do that. It was like, I'm 34. Like Google had been around for like 20 years before but someone finally was like, oh, I should look up Coach Joe, this clean cut, all-American, great guy. And it's like High Times magazine. And he's like ripping a bong. And we're like, oh my God, we have like a meeting in the student center, all of us. And we're like, holy shit, Joe's awesome. He smokes weed.
Yeah, I remember the day I came in. I remember it vividly, the day that it was discovered, because I had a bunch of stuff that was out there on YouTube. I had a bunch of like comedy skits and sketches and shit like that. And the big one at the time that had the most views by far was this sketch called Porn Foley Artist, where I was doing sound effects for a porn. And so a lot of people had seen it, and people like at the time, it was not viral like Jack's viral now, but for 2008
it was
or whatever,
as big. It was huge.
It was so people would recognize me on the street and shit like that. So I come in, and Will Pagano, as I'm walking in, goes, saw your video. And I was like, I'm playing dumb. I go, because I don't want some high schooler talking about, hand job sounds and the fucking, I'm just trying to hit fungos, like Jack said. And he's like, the one with the hat. And now I'm like, yeah, in that video, I've got like the trailer fucking park hat. I was like, yeah, I did that a couple years ago. He's whatever. And he's like, how do you even get to work for High Times? And I was like, oh, that video. I was like, fuck no. And that was like, there was already 10 of them out. There was like 10 episodes of this weird kind of Borat pot, dealer thing that working with High Times. And then I was just like, oh, it's, this is, the curtain's been pulled back on Joe Prano. These kids now know far too much. And I remember that same season, Pagano, no shows for practice on 420. And he's like, bro, I was, it was like a holiday. And he already knew about the video. So I was like, bro, if I'm here that day, you got to be here that day. He's like, I hear you, coach. I hear you. So, but yeah, I mean, one of the great, a couple of great Jack moments. I'll start with the first one. This is a truly like meaningful moment in my life. It made me want to like keep coaching after I came out to California and whatever. But the first year I coached there, I think was your sophomore year. And going into junior year, I get a call into the athletic director's office, and he's like, hey, we're firing the coach. Like, coach is out. And when you're an assistant coach, you're like, I'm out too. Right. And he's like, nope. It was you, Craig, and Greg that were like the three of the one class. And they were like, these guys really like you. They want you to stick around. And I was like, oh, these are my dudes. Like, I get to keep coaching here. They're just getting rid of the head coach. And I was like, this is great. I was like, I really have something with these guys that felt awesome. And that's why we ended up having so much fun and having really grown that we had some good baseball teams in the end.
Yeah, we were good.
And then my other big moment is we had an early season game. I talk about it every time we hang out. I talked about it on Trackstar. We had an early season game, cold. In New York, you start in April, still can get cold. We go out to Breezy Point. Jack's out on the hill, and Jack throws like a complete game, 2-hitter, just floating curveballs in the wind out of Breezy Point. Just like we need some Jack Coyne type performances on my Mets these days because we're fucking spiraling. We need a guy to just come out, Seth Lugo, Jack Coyne, a couple curveballs. Do you remember that day? Do you remember? Is that like your?
That was definitely a highlight career moment. When I was a kid, my parents had a house in Breezy Point, so we went out there from when I was like born until I was 10 years old. So that was like my stop. So there's something in the air out there, what's known as the Irish Riviera. I don't know if you're familiar.
I didn't know that. The Irish Riviera. That's great.
So Prano says we got to talk about this. You are both a Yankees and a New York Mets fan?
Yes. So my dad's from Queens, my mom's from the Bronx.
Wow.
So I
There it
was
is.
it was there like from when I was a kid. You know what I mean? It was just support both teams. And yeah, it's kind of that simple. But I went to the Subway Series at Yankee Stadium and I wore a Mike Piazza jersey into the bleachers in the 2000 World Series. So
that tells us who you're real. That tells us who
Yeah,
your
and that's
lead
what I was
fan
going
is.
to ask you. It's like, where are you more partial?
You said
Mets.
your dad's from Queens?
yeah, you go with the dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. But like my mom, my grandpa, like on her side, all those, it was like I'm not gonna root against the Yankees because the Yankees are also awesome. I'm not gonna be one of these. And I actually think I'm a little bit of a trailblazer by supporting my city above all else. I
How
think
do
that's
New
kinda
Yorkers
makes me
how
unique.
would they view that? How would they view that?
Well, that's the thing. It's why it's so rare is because I feel like growing up, Yankee fans were more when I was growing up. Mets win in '86, so I'm a kid, and the Mets are the hot shit, and so
Yeah.
the Yankees hate the Mets, and then the Yankees in the '90s return to their glory that I was, from the black and white era and before integration and the years where they won 20 of their 27 championships when television didn't exist, but then the Yankees become hot shit in the 90s, and now everybody's, all the Mets fans are like, fuck that, like hate them. So there's like these back-to-back eras. So the lines got pretty divided, but it feels like you're more likely to be like, I'm a Giants fan, but I always rooted for the Jets a little bit too. Cause I'm like, they're not really like a threat to us.
Yeah.
I feel like Yankee fans are more accepting of Mets fans than Mets fans are of Yankees fans. Cause they're like, fuck. It's like kind of
There's
like
100% Mets envy.
Yeah.
But like my dad was a Mets fan, but he was like, let's go to the Yankee game. Also, because it's easier to get to. Like someone gave me Yankees tickets, let's go.
Yeah.
You like baseball. But you know who else is like that? I think Spike Lee is like he'll root for any New York team. Really. Yeah. When the city wins, that's what you want to see. You want like people to be happy in your town. I don't think there's a really intense rivalry.
So Prano said you got Pete Alonso coming on Trackstar next week.
Oh yeah, breaking news. This is top secret. No, it's good. We can talk about it.
Should I not have said that?
They just sent the credentials and stuff through. So it sounds like he's down to be on the show. It's apparently a big.
Sorry about that.
His walk-on song. No, we should talk about it. His walk-on song is Layla. I guess his dad. He told like the digital guy like, oh yeah, I used to do this like with my dad in the car all the time as a kid, like going. So I think he'll have an interesting run out there. So we're doing it on Wednesday night on the field during BP.
Incredible.
So I have actually a great day lined up. It's U.S. Open season. So we got the press passes for the U.S. Open. So I'm going to go out there in the morning, talk to some people, watch some tennis, and then at like 4, go over BP, Pete Alonso, and then watch the Mets game on Wednesday night.
Now,
that's a life, man.
When I was coaching you in school, we didn't even have a home field, let alone a press box.
Yeah.
But take me back. Give me today's answer for this question, and then give me at on our team answer to this question. What's Jack Coyne's walk-up song in 2025? If Pete Alonso goes, you know what? I talked to Mendoza. You're hitting fourth tonight. What do you give him as your walk-up song?
Wow.
And then
Okay.
when you were hitting like seventh for collegiate, what was your walk-up song?
Okay. In high school, it probably would have been like a 50 Cent song. Like that sounds right. Like
I
if
Run New
I
York.
can't, 50 Cent, one of those like kind of G Unit, something like that. That was definitely
Many
the
men wish
mentality.
death upon Jack.
Yes. Yes. Now, I would never do 50 Cent as the walk-up song. That's insane. I would go, I can't even think. This is such a hard one. Do you guys have an idea of what yours would be like off the top of your head?
No, I'd have to think about it.
Honestly, I've always thought, it's funny you say it, but like if I played in New York, and I was like the closer, I feel like my walkout song would be 50s I Run New York.
Yes.
And I've always said, though, like overall, something I think stands the test of time, just the slow roll. Damn, it feels good to be a gangster. Like
Old school.
just real slow walking into the batter's box. We're really going to push that pitch clock.
Just thought of one. Thunderstruck, AC/DC.
It's a good
Anytime
one.
it comes on, like the crowd, gets tuned in right away. Oh wow, we're back. The other one that I love when you have a white guy go up with a reggaeton, like a Latin song, and then you get the crossover, and you're like, wait, who? That's one of my favorites when you see it. It's pretty rare, but when it happens, it's great.
It's like
I feel like what's the name of the guy who was on the Mets and the Yankees recently, and he grew up in New York? Harrison Bader. I feel like he had a Latin walk-up song.
It's like a reverse Lindor who comes up to My Girl, which is just like so. It's now like an iconic New York thing, and it's like, where did you get this? Like, why is this pull?
Okay, so here's the T. I was like, can we get Lindor on Trackstar too, or maybe do head-to-head with Alonso Lindor? And they were like, Lindor doesn't really listen to music. And so I was like, oh, interesting. They're like, he doesn't really know music.
That's kind of serial killer vibes. Who doesn't listen to music?
Yeah.
Well, you kind of like that though from your baseball players.
Yeah. But there's there's the gifts of Alonso bouncing at the home run derby. He's gonna be great, and he is Mr. Met. Like at this point, he's our guy. He's our boy.
He's the best. Yeah, he's the guy that I wanted.
So take me a little behind the scenes when and obviously you haven't talked to Pete yet, but like when you normally get somebody like that, what's the time period that you have with them, and then going through editing all I just out of curiosity because I find all that stuff interesting.
So it depends on who it is, but at the minimum I would say it's 25 to 30 minutes with these people.
Oh wow.
And the cameras are rolling for at least 15.
Okay.
And if they get into it, which most people get into it because it's like you're guessing songs, it's fun. And I'm also like juicing because I'm playing stuff that I know at the beginning. Joe. It's like you're like you get into it. It's like gambling.
Yeah.
You're listening to music, like what's not to like. So you kind of get people on the hook, and then they want to be there. And more often than not, it's like the publicist or person that they're with is like, all right, like we got to go, but they want to stay. So we talk probably for half hour. We talk for like a couple minutes before, and then often afterward we'll talk more. And they're like excited, catching up, life stuff, whatever. And then bring it back to the studio, and it'll take like a day almost to edit, maybe a little bit less. And we have a team of people who work on it. So someone will finish it in like a little less than a day, share it with us. We'll review the edit, make sure we like it, make some notes, turn around and send it back. So we can turn it around within a day. And we have turned them in a couple hours, but often there's just an editorial calendar and other stuff that we've already shot. So kind of hold it for a week or two.
Now I watched the John Baptiste one today, and then I saw the follow-up. You have a couple like supporting channels now. There's Trackstar Presents. So I think it was on Trackstar Presents that I saw him turn the mic around on you, and he wanted to talk to you about how you come up with the track listing. Now to me, I was like, bro, it's pretty easy if you know your career to kind of know your influences and what. But you do a great job at it. But for a guy like Pete Alonso, like what is your information that you're going off? His walk-up songs, Layla, and then you Google Pete Alonso music interests, or?
a couple of things that you look at is like age, like when someone like graduated high school is a good like thing that gives you some information. You know a lot of that stuff from when you graduated high school, or you at least remember it so you can talk about it. Where someone's from. And so like if they're from somewhere in the South, they might be a little bit more Southern rock, where whatever, if they're from a town, maybe if or from a state that has like a certain artist, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, I know that guy's from my state. So they'll be able to talk about that stuff. And then it's really just kind of like feel and instinct and in the moment. Kind of
Have you
early on, I'll
ever-
ask them like, who do you listen to? Like who are called, and they'll say something and then I'll just rip it.
Yeah. Have you ever full Chuck Knoblocked it? Just gotten the, you ever come with something and they were like, nope, I've no, like just totally duffed somebody?
Yeah. Recently. This is a bad one. Well, yeah, this was a particularly bad one. This is an exclusive story just for the Dirty Sports listeners. So don't clip this and share it with the world. But you know Wilco, you know Jeff Tweedy from Wilco.
Sure.
He is like a musicologist, knows all this stuff. I'm like, okay, this guy's gonna be tough. I'm gonna have this whole playlist. First song that I played him was a Joni Mitchell song. Not like a really famous Joni Mitchell song, but it's Joni Mitchell. And he like in his book like writes about Joni Mitchell. He's like, I have no idea what this is. And I'm like, it's Joni. Let's just move on. And I'm like, he's like, no, who is it? I'm like, it's Joni Mitchell. He's like, oh wow, okay, now I'm gonna get fucking canceled for not. I'm like, don't worry, we'll just delete that from the video.
We'll start over.
So then the next song I play, I'm like, let's just pretend that never happened. I play a John Lennon song, not a Beatles song, but like a random John Lennon song. He's like, I have no idea what this is. And I'm like, that's John Lennon. He's like, Jesus Christ. So it's like full like off the wheels. And I'm like, okay, we got to take this. Like, I'm like, reset, pretend that never happened. Like, let's start from scratch. I find just something that I know, like he's going to know that's like very similar to his music. He's like, okay, like now and then I try to pull him on track, but like 5 minutes later, he's still like, do fucking Joni Mitchell. And this. Sorry, dude. And that's rare. That doesn't usually happen. And it's someone that you expect is going to know so much. And then other times when it's someone like Sue, who you reference, who like, they're like, I'm not going to know anything. And then you play them some softballs at the beginning and like get them harder. And then they're like knowing the harder ones and they're going to, and you're like, okay, so you just fucking tricked me into playing you stuff that is right up your wheelhouse. I got played.
Yeah. Who do you have out there as somebody you're like, I really want? And I know it's all incoming, so you're not like reaching out. But if you were like, oh man, we got it, like what would be the one where you're like, guys, we got an email from standing up, running around. It's all happening.
Yeah, there's a few like immediate. The one I always say is Springsteen, which I think is possible because the movie's coming out. Maybe he promotes the movie. He would be amazing. The best athlete one is LeBron, who you just know it would be fucking hilarious. The stuff that he would talk about and the stories that he would tell. Oh yeah, I remember when I discovered I was the first one to listen to Migos.
Yeah.
Like no,
I produced Migos' first album. They're like, you did?
He's like, I met Migos before they were the Migos. So like that
they were
would
just Migo. It was just one Migo when I
Like, I remember seeing the Beatles at the Garden. Like what? What are you talking about, LeBron?
Like Cap. So he would be good. And then Scorsese is like after Spike Lee, I'm like, oh, who would be like a really legendary movie guy? And the music in his movies is like the best, right? Like Goodfellas, like soundtrack is so legendary. So I would just want to talk to him about that stuff. So those are a few that I have my eyes on.
Can we? Those are great guys, by the way. Can we talk a little New York Giants, guys? Can we? I've been itching.
Yeah, now, Jack, what's your football fandom? Where does that break down?
Same thing. I lean Giants, but I like the Jets too. I like the Jets as like the lovable losers.
Yeah.
But I watch the Giants more. But I would love, like, if they played in the Super Bowl, I would want the Jets to win because they like need it more.
Yeah.
And I love the Jets fans.
I love Jets fans too until they like, it's always a thing. It's like, until you come at the Giants, until you have something to say about it. It's like, hey, you're the lovable losers. Like, fuck you. Fuck the Giants. I'm like, all right, fine. You're not the lovable losers. You're not very lovable right now. But typically I have, during my life, I have a lot of, I have told this story. I technically started as a Jets fan before I quickly was converted for reasons. But I through the years have always I love the Bill Parcells Jets. I love the Vinny Testaverde Pennington Jets. I like, I don't know how I feel about the current Jets, but let's hope now that Aaron Rodgers is gone, we get a fresh start. It'd be nice for the Jets to be good. The league's better when the Jets are good.
This summer, remember Rex Ryan was trying to get rehired? I was praying for that as a Jets fan.
Yeah. I mean, there was a moment where it looked
Rex.
where Jeff Van Gundy was going to be the Knicks coach and Rex Ryan was going to be the Jets coach. And I was like, what year is it?
Dude, Rex was so funny. So awesome.
He was in, here's the thing about Rex. He definitely in his time, obviously they made, was it 3 straight AFC championships?
2.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's we all know, obviously, Sanchez. It's you were a quarterback away from making the Super Bowl. It sucks that that was his window. I mean, the thought of Rex Ryan going back is hysterical.
Yeah.
The game's past you, whereas other guys can go back. But those were fun teams.
Well, you guys were talking about it before I came on. The owners, they have no shot. The Jets just have a terrible owner situation.
No shot.
Yeah,
one of the worst in sports. It's just it's just bad. It's just cursed.
I mean, again, their kids are looking at the Madden ratings and how they determine contracts and bringing in players. But I want to hear your opinion on what happened last night, because everyone who listens to the show is going to know, Andy and Joe are going to go so hard about because we always are so hard on Jameis and the eating the W. We'll first play the video with him and Jackson Dart here real quick. It's a short one.
Yard touchdown connection right there.
Oh,
no. Eat that dog.
That's what I'm talking about. No. He knew where the camera was.
Right at the camera.
I mean, very cringe. And then I was like, I don't think you can get more cringe than that until the New York Giants on their own socials posted this one. So you have what? You have Jameis, you have Jackson Dart, you have DeVito, all eating W's.
Yeah.
Double dubs.
Okay.
Double dubs.
Where's Russell? Where's Hustle and Bustle Russell?
Isn't
he supposed to be the leader?
He's Captain Cringe too. He's the cringe. All of a sudden, Captain Cringed out, and they're like, "We got to make up for the boss not being here."
Like Joe, because obviously I've had so many people be like, before the show, they'll DM me like, "Oh God, I can't wait to see Prono's reaction to this." I'm like, well, because obviously it's Jameis, who you've been the most anti-Jameis guy probably anybody, and I've fully supported you, by the way. And you have Russ, and they're all on your team. It's
well, my fear. See, here's my thing with it, and there's layers to this. I'm hopeful that Jackson Dart is going to be the dude.
He seems like it.
He's very swaggy. He's all the right things so far, but then he's part of this, and now I'm like, oh no, I don't want him to get corrupted. I don't want him eating W's. But I'm glad we have Jack on for this, because forever Jack and the guys he played with, for some reason through the years on social media, I'm following guys who are 10, 12 years younger than me. There's a whole group of dudes who I follow. So Jack's the generation below me. And it was always good. It helped me keep a gauge on kind of what the millennials were up to. But then now Jackson Dart is the generation below. So I don't want to go full boomer here. I kind of want the in-between generation take on this. Jack, cringe or still swaggy? How do we feel?
Okay. So I think Jameis is an icon. And I think that those guys, I think the other guys look at Jay, even though he's a goofball, he's a respected legend in this league. Jameis is beloved in the NFL. He's never really done anything, but he's an icon and he's beloved. So these guys were kids watching Jameis. Even how old was Jackson Dart when Jameis was at Florida State cooking? Yeah. So he's okay, I want to get on that level. And he's inspiring. He's almost like a priest, like a pastor. He's in the locker room. And so instead
of raping boys, he's raping girls.
Yes. Yes.
Hold on.
I knew this was gonna happen.
I gotta stop Jack here. He said, I'm
telling you, we're just old.
No, we're not just old. He's look at he's He's a dork. Look at this guy. He's just a big. Look at it. He's just a big dork. Here's my thing on Jameis. And Joe, you agree? Sorry. It's like I don't
I
think.
like that you turned the screen into the finger W for a second there. It was the. I can't
Like, do you
without
think
saying
he's
that.
funny, Jack? Do you think he's funny?
He's not funny. He's not a comedian.
Okay, so we agree, but yeah, he's not a comedian. But I'm saying like there's athletes. I'm like that person's funny.
He's like the water boy. He's like one of those characters that's like the lovable, like he's funny.
See? We're bridging the generations here.
Have I not said that forever?
I've
called
Black
him
Bobby Boucher.
I've called him Black Bobby Boucher for years. So
there we go.
Okay, so we
But
okay.
he's beloved. Bobby Boucher rallies the team. He's one of these guys. He's got the like almost like the not fully there, but he's so passionate that you buy in. And but if we pull up the picture again, it's really the problem really is about to be solved because Cutlets is getting cut.
Yeah.
He's not going to be around for very long. He's the one who's the most into it. He's the one with the least. I feel bad for him. But the writing's on the wall with Cutlets.
I love that. That's going to be a fun interaction in like the Giants, GM's office. He's like, Tommy cut. And he's like, Cutlets. It's actually Cutlets. He's like, no, I just cut you. You're cut. It's like,
he's him, the agent. The agent's going to be working, finding a new home for him somewhere.
You need to have him on Trackstar doing like a little Lou Monte, a little Dean Martin, a little like.
Jameis, I would have Jameis on.
Yeah,
sure.
Jameis would be good.
Actually, that's a good question. Do you think Jameis goes on Trackstar?
I mean, Jameis graduates high school in what? Probably 2007 or 10 or something like that. If you just find your Galaxy brain right now? If you had to pull what's the first song you pull for Jameis?
He's 31.
He's 31. Oh man, it's like
from Alabama or something.
Do you think maybe like Nelly? Like it's getting hot in here. Maybe.
I mean, look, that was huge. I actually went to school right in St. Louis, so it's like that popped in 2000. I was in school 2000, 2005. I bet I would have a good gauge because I love Southern rap. I bet. Let's see here.
Juvenile.
I'm thinking like it's like Webby.
Webby. You love you some Webby. Ruther loves some Webby.
No, but
Ruther just fucking.
It's that one song,
You just Jeff tweeted Jameis Winston. He's like, who the fuck is Webby? He's like, and Ruther's gonna be there giving him hints. Think about your W.
I'm thinking like
when Jack gave me the dollar. Jack gave
Little
me the
Wayne?
Johnny Manziel to get me to Eddie Money.
I have another story for you guys that hasn't been published yet. Saquon came on.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That one's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt.
So what do you play for? And Saquon was like, I wish I could still be on the Giants. Like it was like real. He was like, Philly's cool, but like it's not my fault. And I played him a lot of Philly oriented songs. I was like testing his Philly rap knowledge, which he knew. And then I threw in a Taylor Swift song, and all of a sudden he started singing. He like with no headphones on, sang a whole Taylor Swift song a cappella on the mic. And I was like, where did that come from? He's like, what? He like snapped back into it. He's like, what? He's like, oh, I guess like my daughters listen to that in the car or something, So the other approach you take with these types of guys is you think about the kids and what do the kids listen to?
Yeah. I remember you telling me when we sat and had coffee after I did Trackstar that somebody, because anybody who knows me knows I have Swiftie beef. And
wait, you do?
I stoked the fires too. I put up like 3 anti-Taylor Swift videos in a week this week just because she's back. Once again, Joe Prano ahead of the curve. Now everybody's anti. The tide's turning on Taylor, but I was doing it before. Getting myself canceled on TikTok but you said somebody just like casually dropped in a video like Taylor Swift overrated and found you in the street later on.
Yeah. So this girl comes up to me I'm at like the New York City Marathon, like watching somewhere on the sideline. And this girl's like, you ruined my life. And I was like, whoa, what? It's a bold allegation. What do you mean I ruined your life? And I didn't like recognize her right away.
She's like, my brother hit third for whatever, and your no hitter at Breezy Point.
Breezy Point.
He quit baseball that day.
She's like, I was on your show and I said that I didn't like Taylor Swift, and the haters came for me, and I was like, excuse me, who said what? You said what you said. I didn't say anything. You know, that's you did that to yourself. She's like, you're right. I guess I did do it to myself.
We also have to talk about this because you guys are both marathon runners, marathon guys. Jack, how many have you run at this point?
Remember when I saw you in LA?
In LA, right?
I've done 4. I've done 3 New York, 1 LA. I was running the LA marathon. I was like by myself. I just like did it on a whim, and I'm at like mile 22, first ever marathon, and I'm like feeling good. I look over, who's there? Probably drinking a Miller Lite. Prano on the sideline.
That's
I'm
amazing.
like Prano. He said,
I think I went to the exact same street that I saw Ruther on his LA marathon.
Well, it's funny you bring that up because I've done 3, but I haven't done one since the Cincinnati one. And well, first of all, I look back, like I'll toot my own horn. Like I'm a psycho. I don't know how I did 2 marathons within 6 weeks. I did LA then Cincinnati within 6 weeks, and Cincinnati's a million times harder than LA. There's too many hills here.
Yeah.
But I've actually had the itch. That was 2019. That's the last time a marathon. I've had the itch lately. And I'm also like, in my head, I'm like, okay, what if I start training I was like, you know how much better if I'm pushing a kid in a stroller, much harder. And then
you see the people who do the marathons with the kid in the stroller.
Well, exactly, with the kid. And then like my second kid, she just turned 7 months, so probably a few more months, because we already have the double strollers, right? She can sit in next. And I was like, now imagine if you're training with 2 little girls. But it's also like you know this, Jack. Like you got to put a lot of time.
What's our boys?
Here's the thing, though.
What's the personal best here? What was the fastest you went, Jack?
I'm sure Jack's way better than me.
3:14.
Yeah, he crushes me. Mine's like
in New York.
3:14.
3:14 is amazing.
In 2019 in New York. But no, the kid. I went on a run with my buddy with his kid in the stroller the other day, and he does like every day 5 miles a day, and it's a great excuse to like get the kid out of the house, give the wife a break. And like, so I'm looking forward when I have a kid to be able to push the stroller. I think that's going to be a great, give mom a break time while you get your work in. The kid's also like out of it, looking around like in the stroller. It's a great thing, I think.
Oh yeah. The kids, it's like
win.
Oh, they like my daughter, last time I took her, it's like we went on a little course by us, which goes through a golf course, and there's a small airport. So she was like losing her mind with planes and then the golfing, and it's like, oh, I'm like, it's not that cool, but like I'm glad that you're,
it's like a roller coaster though. If you're going that fast,
that's actually a good equivalent. It is. So we talked Giants.
You guys are, by the way, the opposite of me. I was just thinking the other day how I got to get my dogs to learn to drag me on the skateboard. That's how little I want to run. I'm not pushing. I'm getting pulled. Let's go. I'm trying to put together a dog sled team to longboard me around the neighborhood.
So I'm going to ask both of you guys this. We talk Jets. We talk Giants. I think, I'm obviously tipping my hat here. I think the Jets are going to be, I think Justin Fields is going to be bad. Who wins more games?
I think Giants are going to shock people this year. I think they're going to have a sneaky, maybe even a sneaky playoff berth. Yeah, I also think Washington's going to fall off. I think Jaden's going to have a down year in Washington. I think the Giants are going to climb in. I think the Jets are cursed. And I think Justin Fields is terrible. Like they have the Jets the Jets are a disaster. They didn't get any better. They got like worse maybe this year.
So let me ask you this, Jack, as a follow-up. If you think, possibly sneaky playoff team, does that mean is that with Russell Wilson or is that a Jackson Dart?
Jackson Dart, baby. Jackson Dart is going to be starting like maybe game 4. He's going to take over game 5. He'll be in there quick.
I love this because I'm so broken. I'm such a broken Giants fan that I get these moments of like excitement, and then I have to talk myself down off the ledge. But also, as Andy knows on this show, if I'm like the Giants are going to win 7 games, then all of a sudden my Twitter DMs that thankfully I never open anymore are like, you fucking cock slurping fucking loser. You behaved on the Eagles and now the Giants are going to win 7 games. You're not going to win 2 games the whole year. But I actually do. Listen, here's the thing. I don't care about preseason. I don't like break down tape. I don't whatever. The one thing is it's just the vibes seem better. And that includes eating W's and whatever. It was such a down, sour, end of days place for so long. Dable coaching for his career. Daniel Jones, get him at it. Everybody had turned everything had turned sour. The vibes are better. And I think that's so important. It's so much more important for the team than like the X's and O's sometimes.
Giants just have better energy. The Jets probably on paper should be better, but the Giants just have a better energy about them.
Well, here's the thing with the Giants. The defense has a lot of potential. And it's like, as we all know, if you stay in games, the defense is just so much more important, in my opinion, in the NFL, as far as like the teams who are maybe borderline and you can prevent teams from scoring. You give your offense a chance of that last drive.
Yeah.
To win. And obviously the NFC is open, but there was a trade today, Prano? The Commanders traded
Anderson Niners, Brian Robinson, who was shot. He's the NFL's 50 Cent going to the Niners. I texted our boy Laz, big Niners fan. I was like, Shanahan's going to turn him into prime Frank Gore. And he's like, don't you have to be fast to be prime Frank Gore? I was like, can we get off? The guy got shot twice in the knee. I had a snowboarding accident 5 years ago. I haven't run at a medium pace since. This guy's playing in the NFL. And we're like criticizing his 40 time. Also, you don't have to be that fast to be an NFL running back. Derrick Henry's proof of that. You don't have to run Jack's 3.14, you know?
He can move, though. Derrick Henry can move.
Yeah. I think it's a nice move for everybody. I mean, obviously, Washington thinks their rookie kid must be good. But I think with the Niners, man, they took guys off the trash heap last year. And if you play fantasy, you're picking up whatever Mason or whatever, and you're like, oh, this guy's my starting running back while Christian McCaffrey's out. I think Brian Robinson's going to be a nice little fit over there.
Yeah, is McCaffrey gonna even play? Like, what's going on? Same thing as last year. Like, can you trust McCaffrey?
I don't think you can.
He's got to go back to Germany.
Yeah, get the Kobe shots.
Get the Kobe shots. All right,
are we still doing that? Are people still doing that?
I'm sure it's at this point. It's like here now,
more mainstream, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure he went to Germany.
Kobe
last
did.
year. No,
McCaffrey.
Yeah. I think he did. Oh yeah, that's the best. The best are in Germany.
Turkish hair implant,
especially with all the budget cuts with the Trump administration. Like all the scientists are moving because they're cutting the funding. You really have to go to Germany.
So these guys are really going to Germany? Still, it's got to be.
Or is that just like a metaphor when they say they're going to Germany? I think they really go to Germany. That's where I would go.
Yeah. If you want hair transplants or new teeth, you go to Turkey. If you want knee fix, you go to Germany. Yeah, you don't know about that?
I don't know about this. Tell me.
There's like all these videos and pictures.
You don't know about Turkey?
Yeah, there's like
I know about eating it.
Flights to Turkey. People always post these pictures of flights to Turkey, and it's just bald dudes going there for hair plugs.
Dude, is this just me being in my own little bubble and just missing?
You gotta
100%. Everybody knows about Turkey.
It's an algorithm, bro. You just gotta get.
But you know what my algorithm is.
With your hair going back like that, you need to tune into the Turkey.
I do. I got a big. I got a big receding hairline. I'll tell you what. My algorithm is more like funny parent videos at this point. Especially, I get sent those a lot during the day. Right? She's like DMing me. Brittany's like DMing me, and I'm like, so once you start watching them, like that's my. And dildos on the WNBA court, which that's kind of settled down a little. My algorithm had a lot of dildos. I was like the number one.
I love that somewhere in China there's like an intern at TikTok who's like at Andy Ruther loves dildos. Feed him the dildo videos.
You know what my wife says is Angel Reese hate videos.
Those are good.
The whole thing.
Those
Her
are
whole thing.
good.
And every day I come home from work, she's like, "Did you see Angel Reese miss 12 shots yesterday?" No, I didn't see that. You're just in this weird Angel Reese. I'm like, "Do you even care about basketball?" She's like, "Well, I know I don't like Angel Reese."
That's funny. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of Angel. I was kind of like quasi in that
You were in it for a
algorithm.
while.
But again, I don't. Mine was just laughing. Like, I don't like really hate her. I'm just like I think, she is what she is.
So funny getting the missing, getting like, and it's counting the rebounds. Angel Reese 12
those are
rebounds. It's
funny
all in
though.
one play.
Yeah.
Like getting your own. It reminds me of like when you're playing somebody like a little brother or somebody you're way bigger than. If you just keep bricking it and you just keep getting the rebound, that's basically what it is.
Yeah, she's
So,
awesome.
so where are we at here? Are we all in on the Mets or the Yankees? Are we still? I just need to get the bottom of this as far as
Okay.
like as
I
the
have a-
season kind of wraps up here.
He's hanging with Pete Alonso on Wednesday. What
Okay.
is it?
And that's kind of what I was getting at.
It's very clear. It's very clear what's going to happen. The Yankees are going to probably even go to the World Series again and then lose again. The Yankees have this boon situation. They're in a boondoggle where they have the worst coach in baseball, just taking and getting these weird wins, and they just are. The Yankees are stuck in like in it's terrible.
The Yankees are Laportoing right now.
The Yankees are Laportoing so that like they just can't get out of their own way, and they never will. And they have like, Judge is amazing, but I guess having some injury problems this year. So I think the Yankees will go to the playoffs. They'll win a couple rounds. Same shit's gonna happen again. Boone will get an extension. They'll come back. They'll run the same stuff over again next year. They won't get it done. The Mets, I think, could go on a magical run.
It's looking terrible right now, but I'm hoping it can turn. I believe in signs. I believe in like the littlest change. Andy, you know this about me. The Mets weren't even in first place when I threw the first pitch in 2015. Next thing you know, they're in the World Series. We need a little bit of that magic again. And I think it's going to come in the form of Jack walking on the hallowed grounds of Citi Field for some track star. Just a little, we just need a little zhuzh, a little magic. Jack and Trackstar are going to be this year's Grimace.
I literally said that to the guy. I was like, my plan is we're going to be the next we're going to be this year's Grimace. Everybody on the team is going to be on Trackstar. We're going to the World Series. He's like, oh, whatever you say.
Love it.
That's amazing.
Well, guys, remember this. We just talked about the algorithm. The great thing about the algorithm these days is you can train your algorithm. Like I trained my algorithm last week that I want all the eat the rich, death to all billionaires, especially Taylor Swift content. If you hate Taylor Swift because she's a billionaire, I'm watching your videos, and it's happening. Train your algorithm today with a little Trackstar. Go to Trackstar on Instagram. Go to Trackstar on TikTok. Watch the videos. If you haven't seen my appearance on it, certainly start there. Look for Sue. Look for Spike and ASAP Rocky. Give everybody some likes, and the next thing you know, it'll just be fed to you because that's what the algorithm does. And that way, you won't miss it when Pete Alonso gets at LFGM next week on Trackstar.
Let's go.
Jack, thanks for joining. Thanks for giving us the time. Jack Coyne, everybody.
And yeah, please plug yourself and anything else people need to know if that wasn't sufficient for you.
That was huge. That was huge. If you don't like music, that's your problem. But if you want something else, we also have a show called Public Opinion. Search Public Opinion NYC on YouTube. We make videos about infrastructure, like what happens when you flush the toilet. And we talk to the people that like make all this stuff work in New York City. So it's pretty fascinating content. But then Trackstar is like the fun stuff. We talk to musicians.
And since this is a good reminder, I saw recently you started popping up in my Substack algo. Everybody who's listening to this is probably a subscriber to us on Substack. If you're not a subscriber to us on Substack at this point, that's crazy. Do that. Also, subscribe to Jack while you're there because you're sharing a lot of stuff on Substack these days too. Is there a Jack Substack and a Trackstar Substack, or is it all just Jack?
It's all one thing.
Great.
It's all together.
It's all Jack Coyne on Substack.
Yeah. Guys, this was a dream. I hope I can come back at some point.
For sure.
We'd love to have you back.
Maybe it could be like, maybe I can do like with Trackstar, it could be like a halftime, like a Super Bowl halftime breakdown thing or something like that. Something music and sports crossover. You guys can bring me in for that.
And if you ever make it to Cincinnati, you got to get your Webby and your other
What-
Southern rap. You get
Webby
your-
is
get
not
your-
Cincinnati.
Get your
Wait.
Bone Thugs and Harmony. I'm saying for you, so you can come on Trackstar, Andy. You know, if Jack makes it to Cincy, get a little Bone Thugs, get a little Webby, get a little other fucking
Nirvana. Don't forget Nirvana, Prano.
Nirvana.
Don't forget Ruther's loving Nirvana.
That's right.
Jack,
And of
appreciate
course,
it, man.
and of course, Baby Shark.
Yes.
Peace, guys. Thank
Jack,
you.
thanks for being
Take
here,
care,
buddy.
Jack.
See you
Much
soon.
love. Bye.
That was fun.
Yeah, it's funny that you coached him, man. That's wild.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. It was a lifetime ago. I was literally, I moved to New York, or I moved to LA 2010. Days after, I kept pushing back my move to LA. We were supposed to move, and they were supposed to move, and we were supposed to move. And that year that I was supposed to leave, we just kept winning playoff games. It was actually the year after Jack left. So it would have been Jack's freshman year of college. We just kept winning. So my move to LA was pushed because of how far we went in the playoffs that year in 2010. So it was 2008, 2009, and 2010. That's a lifetime ago.
Yeah, well, it's
It was like
interesting.
17 years.
You know, his story, and it's funny, and because it's true. His story of like the guys didn't Google you. It is so funny now because like the first thing you do,
Yeah. Even when I was coaching in LA, it was the first. The kids knew immediately.
like I was joking, somebody moved into my street. Right. I've never met them.
Yeah.
I already know where they went to college. I know where they work. It's like you just look up the address and then you can take things, and it's like it's almost weird. It's like I know everything about you without even meeting you. I'm just curious who my new neighbors are.
Yeah.
And exactly, like the kids are just like, oh shit, he does this. Well, here's what you should do if you're going to use Google. Just go to MillerLite.com/dirty sports. We'll
right.
start there.
Look
You
at
got
the
the
gold.
golden.
The gold cans are still available, guys. In fact, they've done a big push on the gold cans recently. I just loaded up again. And this is the weekend. This is like got a lot of stuff going on this weekend. Going to be at the comedy clubs. I was at Irvine Improv last night. I was like, you got Miller Lite? They were like on draft. I was like, let's go. Drink Miller Lite on draft. Drink Miller Lite in the gold cans. If you don't have any, go to MillerLite.com/dirty sports and order some.
And you know, we're hitting that time of year very soon. And that I love the fall. I love me some fall now. I mean, I always did, but just the crisper air. You know, just you get out in the grill. There's nothing better. Get that fire pit going. Get out in the grill. Crack open some cold Miller Lights. Put on some football. Playoff baseball. It's like it's you know, we're getting
Early
there.
season football where you're still wearing shorts, but you're watching football and you're drinking beers and it's still warm out. You got a Miller Lite, some shorts, and some football. And you got those fall smells. When I was a kid, I loved the fall smells. And then when I was an adult, I loved the fall smells more because there was also a Pilsner in the air.
That's right. Miller Lite, great taste, 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/dirty sports to find delivery options near you, or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. Cheers to 50 years of Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. Here's a kid, and I didn't get to it. This maybe now I don't know if this kid knows music, but we talk about Trackstar with Jack. Did you see this video of the kid naming every single Finals MVP?
This was great. And yeah.
This kid's like he's like the Trackstar version of NBA.
I want to ask this kid, I want to go, hey, let's say that the Bulls had lost to the Supersonics. Who would have been the thing? And they go, Sean Kemp. I go, and what would Sean Kemp's nickname be? And he'd be like, Rain Man. I was like, you got it. That's right. I don't want to tell you why I told you that, but yeah, this kid, Matty Goldberg does this with like what Super Bowl winners and
he does it with Super Bowl winners,
but NBA Finals MVPs, all of them.
All of them.
Watch
this. This clip's absolutely amazing.
How many years can you name when a player has won?
I can name 2.
I can name 10.
I can name 11.
I can name 57. I can name them all.
You can name all.
And you know what I'm going to do for the audience? Close the computer.
And the confidence in this young man.
I was going to say, he's so confident. He's so excited that he didn't slow play it enough. He's like, I can name 1. I can name 2. I can name 10. He's like, I'll name all of them. And you're like, oh, you should have gone to 15, see if he'd gone to 16, and then jumped to all. I can name all of them.
Yeah. And here he is.
Nothing around. Close my eyes. I want to see the reaction on your face.
I have the utmost trust in you because if you pull this off, then I need to go do my homework. I thought I knew about basketball.
You guys ready?
3, 2, 1, go.
From 69 and on, Jerry West, Willis Reed, Lou Alcindor / Kareem, Wilt Chamberlain, Willis Reed, John Havlicek, Rick Barry, JoJo White, Bill Walton, Wes Unseld, Dennis Johnson, Magic Johnson, Cedric Maxwell, Magic Johnson, Moses Malone, Larry Bird, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, James Worthy, Joe Dumars, Isaiah Thomas, Jordan, Hakeem, Jordan, Tim Duncan, Shaq, Duncan, Chauncey Billups, Duncan, Wade, Tony Parker, Paul Pierce, Kobe, Dirk, LeBron, Kawhi, Andre Iguodala, LeBron James, Durant, Kawhi, LeBron, Giannis, Curry, Jokic, Brown, Shea.
You did that in 42 seconds. 42
That's what I'm talking about.
Woo! See, I like, but once you said Jordan, I was like,
pretty impressive.
If a kid did that in front of me, I'd be like, what color is the number 12? And he'd be like, red. I'd be like, what taste is the word?
But here's the thing, though, Joe, and obviously, it means he has to know who won. If I told you who won,
yeah,
you and I would both we'd go pretty far.
Yeah. Yes. But my brain is like, dude, you can't at this point. It was different. I think also when you're a kid, you stockpile it, but also these days, there's so much information. Him being a kid with all the information these days, that's pretty impressive. I feel like when you were a kid, you just stockpiled this stuff because you had to read it and you had to hear it and you had to whatever. Now there's so much info.
Yeah, it's too much.
But yeah, dude, if you had said to me who won the NBA championship in 2021, I would have to work backwards just to figure it out. Meanwhile, when I was a kid, you go, who won the Super Bowl in 78? I'd be like, because you just process shit differently these days. But for me, also the other thing about being a kid, I think is helpful is you don't have all this. I have too much information in my brain now that I can't even sort through it all at this point. And this kid, he doesn't, when I was a kid, I was watching the Mets or I was watching, I was a big Notre Dame football fan. I just studied the media guides.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, how do you know that? I'd be like, well, I just memorized the media guide.
What's crazy is I saw some comments and then people be like, cool, he memorizes. And I'm like, who even cares if he did? You know how impressive that is?
Yeah.
Like in a way he did. I'm like, we were going to be haters on this?
Yeah.
It's insane. And he's passionate about it, which is great. It's very impressive.
I agree.
I saw that.
Very, very impressive. And it's absolutely different than just memorizing. It's cool. Yeah, you memorized it, but that's a lot to memorize.
He reeled it off.
You got, he didn't.
Yeah.
You could see him visualizing the team. And
he
said he hit him with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He goes Lou Alcindor / Kareem Abdul-Jabbar because he was he actually won it as Lou Alcindor then. He didn't hit us with Lou Alcindor or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar when he won it in the 80s. He just hit us with Kareem.
It's like the GIF with Zach Galifianakis from The Hangover.
Yeah.
Like that's this kid's brain, just at work. Very impressive.
And if you ask him where on the body is the vagina, he's like, by the belly button. And you're like, it's okay. You'll get there, kid. Can't memorize everything.
No, whatever. You can find some hot dorky chick, man. And
Yeah.
dorky chicks are freaks. You know that.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah.
That's my advice to all you single dorky chicks. They know what's up. I'm telling you. Find you a dorky chick. Let's do a quick call here.
Let's do it.
Let's do a call here. Where are we at? Where are we at here with the hotline? Here we go. 859-832-0478. We got where is it here? Sorry. They changed the interface here. I'm a little thrown off. Okay. All right. This was we were talking about the NFL season and upcoming and people started chiming in with stuff that bothers them. Here we go.
Hey boys, Brian Heinrich calling in again. And last week you guys were talking about how you're not as hyped for football this year, and I'm right there with you. Like, I'm not as pumped as I usually am. And I was thinking about why that is. Maybe I don't want to hear people talk about their fantasy teams. I definitely don't want to see Kevin Hart talk about fucking DraftKings in every commercial. But for me, like, I think it's because of all the shit takes I'm going to hear. And with the NBA, you don't really get the casuals chiming in until the playoffs. With the NFL, it's like whenever everyone likes something, you're surrounded by shit takes. I'm not ready to hear it. Last year, I saw a post from Lions Reddit where someone said they think the Lions should move on from golf after the playoff game. Good take. Someone in the comments blamed the defense for the loss because of how many points the Commanders scored. Someone else said, hey, it's because Goff was throwing picks, gave Washington short fields. All right. Then this mouth breather says, that's not true, because one of the picks was returned for a touchdown, so that didn't count, so they didn't have a short field. I feel I don't need to explain why I had a brain aneurysm after reading that. Condoms are for idiot takes.
Well, I mean, 'tis the season.
Guys, let me start with
the season.
Let me start with the most important thing. This is beyond the NFL. This goes way beyond the NFL. Reddit is a cesspool, dude.
Oh yeah.
Reddit is next level cesspool.
It's the worst.
I haven't been on Reddit and I don't even know how long. And yesterday, this is funny because I was like, here's the thing about, we had Jack on. Here's the thing about Jack. He's such a nice guy. He's so lovable. I was like, I wonder if there's Jack haters anywhere.
For sure.
So I put Jack's name into Reddit. And there's some posts about him because he used to work with Casey Neistat and blah, 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 blah. But there's no Trackstar Reddit. There's no public opinion Reddit. There's no Jack Reddit. And I was like, that's how you know you're saying that no one on Reddit is even hating on you. It's Reddit is there's no reason to go to Reddit. There's no reason to go to Reddit.
I mean, look, guys, fans are they're so dumb on so many levels. I just, out of curiosity, I put in the story we talked about earlier. I mean, you guys would be mind blown, the Boomer Esiason story. And I'm sure you're not surprised.
What supposed to do? Put all these guys up in the 4 seasons?
Here's a few responses, because now it's taken off on Twitter. Here's a few responses to Bengals fans defending them not paying. The Bengals are my team. I want to see them take it all. This is not a big deal. We want winners when we gripe if they either spend too much money or don't spend enough. We don't like the stars placed on a pedestal, but bitch when they aren't. Get over it. This guy. When normal fans come in for games, do they pay for hotels? ? Former players are no different.
Cool. Other fans are, you're not getting, dude, here's the deal. When you are a fan of the Bengals, let's say you're a lifetime fan of the Bengals, right? Let's say you're Justin and you live in LA now, but you're like, I'm going to go back to a home game. They didn't send you an invitation inviting you to the game.
Oh, did they put up Randy Ruther?
No? Then why are they putting up Boomer Esiason? Now, listen, don't get me wrong. I think Randy Ruther does belong in the Bengals Ring of Honor. And maybe they should pay for it. But let's not, I think at least TJ Hushmanzada is between where Randy Ruther belongs in the Ring of Honor and where Boomer Esiason is. So until we get Hoosh up there, we can't get Randy up there. But yeah, like it's insane. It's dude, when they invite Lawrence Taylor to come back to Giant Stadium for an event, they give him underage hookers. They're like, we've paid for your hotel room, and children will be in the hotel room when you arrive. There'll be a fruit plate, and there'll be a 12-year-old prostitute.
And of course, the classic, as I look at this comment, the classic, you and I talk about this every time. Millionaires can't pay for their own hotel rooms, ? Ah, yes. The old classic.
First of all, Boomer Esiason, the average fucking salary for a quarterback when Boomer Esiason played was probably $400,000.
Yeah, it was not much.
Now he's a local radio host.
Exactly. I mean,
who works with a guy named Geo, which is a failed car company from the 80s.
Boomer, and he recently got fired from CBS. It's like for the the pregame and halftime and postgame, but it's like, so obviously he's had a nice quote unquote like post career, but like exactly. These guys, it's still. God, it just
also,
me.
I got news for you guys. Millionaires don't pay for anything. So if you want to invite millionaires to something, don't ask them to pay a cover charge. They're not coming.
Also, $1 million isn't shit nowadays. So shut the fuck up, idiots.
Oh, I just posted that on Threads the other day. I was like, I wonder how many things from bare naked ladies I have $1 million you couldn't afford anymore. A house? I'll buy you a house. No, you won't. You'll rent a house.
I mean, seriously. Like, it's just
a tree fort in the yard. Not with these Trump's tariffs on lumber.
I don't know. I don't know why the like. You can like your be like Justin. You can like your team and say my owner's a piece of shit.
That's a good meme. Be like Justin.
I mean, it's like I root for the players. My team's a piece of shit, or my owner's a piece of shit. Like,
well, you also have to be careful. Justin definitely has 12 aliases in Bengals Reddit. I think a lot of Reddit posts on Bengals Reddit are just Justin arguing with himself, and he forgets which account he's on.
Oh man, yeah. You look. Again, I keep saying 'tis the season. I mean, this is where, look, it's only 17 games, but you and I still know it's still like a lot. I mean, how many times have we seen these teams start hot, even 12 games in, and we're like, they're pretenders?
Yeah.
The Cowboys, the Vikings, the Steelers that one year. It's like you see it all the time, and you're like,
I was listening to a show the other day. It might have been when the Dirtball made me re-listen to the Bill Simmons thing that I quit on. Maybe it wasn't. I was listening to some show and somebody goes, "Are we sure the Dolphins are going to be bad?" And I was like, who cares? I know, like, here's what I'm sure of. The Dolphins aren't contending for the Super Bowl. Are we sure? Are we sure the Dolphins aren't going to win 11 games? No, I'm not sure of that, but I know this.
Yeah.
Dolphins aren't winning the Super Bowl.
By the way, you know what the Bengals are? It's funny you bring up the Dolphins. I was actually thinking about this the other day. You know what the Bengals are? They built their team like the Dolphins, no defense, offense, with a better quarterback. Plain and simple. You are the Dolphins, Bengals of the AFC North. And
what did I do last year? What was my one? Do you remember the one? You remember the fucking sure thing lock take to start last season? I was like, I'm putting all of the money, and I did. I put my whole fucking bankroll at the time on Dolphins no playoffs.
Would you do that again this year?
Probably. The only problem is who's going to,
7 teams.
Yeah,
make it.
I guess it's all about what do you think of the Patriots. The AFC East is not getting 3 teams in.
No, I agree. It's all what you think about the Patriots.
Yeah. So probably. But also, again, I wish the FanDuels and the DraftKings and the whatever would let you bet shit like Dolphins won't win a playoff game. You like give me Dolphins won't win a playoff game minus 700. Okay, I'm in. Or minus 700. I'll bet it today.
Yeah, I would too if that was a possibility. I mean, it's just again, it's how the team's built. So,
but yeah, to go back to the caller, I feel like what's crazy is like through the years you've been like, why do you reply to these people? Why do you get all fucking and I'm getting, I mean, the other day when I saw Target had to fire their CEO, it took all of my might not to go on Twitter and hit Clay Travis with the
you already have though, Joe. Don't think I wasn't watching. You already have.
No, I haven't.
You've replied to I have a screenshot of it
on Twitter.
You've replied to Clay Travis. In the last
also, hold on. No. Hold on.
I'll find it on my phone.
Hold on. We were talking before, and listen, at that point, I was like, I'm not getting into another semantics argument with Andy Ruther over some shit. But we were talking about it one time, and you go, well, you're already subtweeting fucking Riley Gaines on Threads or whatever. And I was like, whoa, what Threads? In my mind, I was like, Thread. We didn't say shit about Threads.
We did.
But then I was like, it doesn't matter. I don't care. Like, I don't even care enough not to do it. But no, my point is not, it doesn't have anything to do with you and you saying like, don't do it. I'm just trying not to go on Twitter these days. So the other day I was like, all right, I really want to go hit him with the fucking go woke, go broke bullshit. But I was like, I don't care. Whatever. Here's the difference between me and you though. I hear terrible sports takes in person from human beings, and I just go like, I'm not even going to get fucking started. And I've been with you, and you're like, oh, really? Super Bowls. Name of the time Kobe Bryant. I was like, I can't believe this guy's doing this right now.
Oh, yeah. In person, I'll do it. 100%. Why would I not? My brother actually got mad at me when we went to Jeff Ruby's Steakhouse, which is a great steakhouse here in downtown, and the waiter,
the guy who shot fucking Lee Harvey Oswald, got a steakhouse named after him.
Yes. The waiter was a Kobe stan. I don't even know how we got to this. And my brother Greg was like, shut the fuck up. And I was like, yo, dude, are we gonna? And he was a really nice guy. Like they're known for like their pristine service. Basically, any celebrity or athlete that's in town goes to this place. It's like state of the art, right? And you're right. I couldn't. My brother's, you have to control it. I was like, I can't. He's coming at me with like I'm in person. He's bringing me my food. How can I not throw stats about Kobe? Right? This he was like a 25-year-old kid, nice kid. I got to throw it at his face. Isn't it better to do it in face to face than some fucking
I'll do it face to face with friends whose opinions I care about changing. Like our boy Ben Goldsmith, he loves him some Kobe, and he's fun about it because he knows I know more with him than him, and he'll be like, "Oh, you're right. You know what? Well, I can't argue with you. You know more than I do, but I just love the guy," or like whatever. I don't do it to strangers because I'm just like, there's no convincing this thing, but I'm also like, because I'm in the middle of doing something. My thing with like Twitter is like, I'm like, oh, I'll fucking fire a reply out because I'm taking a shit. Like, what else am I? Just need something to do. I could be playing fucking, I could be playing Words with Friends, or I could be telling Clay Travis that his entire worldview is broken. I'm taking a dump. I got nothing else to do.
But see, in that instance, again, I've always said, you're only helping him.
Because I'm giving him the fucking
because
he wants the clout.
It's the Howard Stern model of back in Howard's heyday. They said like 50% of Howard's listeners hate listened.
Well, the good thing is that's why I don't go on Twitter anymore, is because
I don't believe you.
I don't go on. I think I could show you my usage. I could screenshot my usage on. I really don't go on Twitter anymore. And the reason is because this is the reason.
But it's all the same, isn't it? It's all the same.
No, but it doesn't exist. Like, the reason is that stuff gets forced on me there, and then I have to reply. So I'm not going to go to the place where it's forced on me. Now, I see things in the world like the Target news, and now I'm just taking that and posting it.
What is the Target news?
The Target news is the CEO had to resign because of like dwindling numbers. Meanwhile, 6 months ago, they were like, "We're done with DEI, woke, whatever," and it's like,
yeah, but I don't think any of that's
woke, go broke.
Well, but Target sales even before they changed whatever DEI company policy was already going down.
A lot of these things, Andy, are not related, but people make it like they are fucking related. The NBA's numbers are not dwindling because they're woke. The NBA's numbers are dwindling because there's 20 trillion things to watch.
But we don't know
the MASH finale, Andy.
I know, but we don't know. Hold
on. The MASH finale had more viewers on it than the entirety of the Game of Thrones final season. The entire run of the MASH show.
No,
there was a drag queen. The entire run of MASH, there was a trans character. The entirety of the show.
There was not a trans character.
What are you talking about? There was a trans character. The entire show.
I never watched MASH, but
there was a guy the whole show who wanted out of the army. So he's wearing a dress. He's acting like a woman the whole time.
But that's not a trans. Is that a comedic bit?
Yeah, of course it's a comedic bit.
It's not a trans character.
Put that on a show today. I wish they would put it on a show today, because then we would not have to deal with Clay Travis anymore because his head would explode. Put a cross-dressing character on the biggest show on television right now and just like let them on fucking Last of Us. She's a lesbian. I've had enough. Like, they're like, I can't do it.
I know that show, but I don't know that show. But hold on. But I'm gonna go back to the NBA thing real quick. I agree. Obviously, everything is different now. The numbers aren't what they used to be just because you just had a TV and you didn't have the internet and you didn't have social media and you didn't have a million streaming devices. I don't disagree.
And there's a whole thing.
But my point is, hold on. You don't know. You don't know. And there probably are certain people. There are going to be certain people who are like, I'm not watching the NFL because it says, equality in the end zone. There are gonna be people. That's all I'm saying.
So
there are gonna be people.
How are NFL numbers doing?
No, they're fine. But
right. Though end racism will be in the end zone again, even though
but I'm saying
Colin Kaepernick took a knee,
don't know. But you have to agree, like, we don't know. There will be people who turn that stuff off. Like, I don't know. I don't really give a shit. Like, I don't care.
Also, Andy, there are for sure people who stopped shopping at Target because they were like, fuck, we're not selling rainbow shit anymore. And they took a stand against it. There are some people, the exact opposite people.
And I agree.
Right. All I'm saying is trying to make it a thing that this is why you're going broke because you're wrong. The same way the Target didn't go broke because they gave away DEI. You're right, 100%. That's why I'm trolling people by writing it in the fucking SpongeBob thing. Go broke, because you're lying. You're making it a thing that's not.
Well, again, I don't know that particular case. Like
people don't like the NBA. People like the mid-range shot, and there's a whole thing about fucking Jordan. People hate LeBron. They hate Steph Curry. No one plays defense anymore. All the bullshit. Really, they just hate whatever. But it's like no one stopped. No measurable number of people stopped watching because two teams in the NBA finals wore I Can't Breathe t-shirts. No measurable number. None.
I don't know. I don't know.
No measurable number.
But
it's the same number of people who stopped watching because Colin Kaepernick took a knee, and NFL numbers are bigger than they've ever been.
Well, they are now. Like I don't know if the Colin like again, I don't know what that effect is. I
can tell you none. We can tell because it's not. Nobody's ratings are falling any greater than any other thing that's falling in the streaming era. But the NBA has 17 games.
NFL.
Yeah, the NFL. Major League Baseball has 162. You're not going to get as many people watching. Baseball, by the way, is the most dying of all the dyings and hasn't done a single goddamn woke thing at all. In fact, the only team that's done anything that's pissed people off, the Dodgers had some fucking like trans nuns or whatever, and the Dodgers break fucking attendance records every goddamn year.
Yeah, but again, my thing on all this is you don't. I disagree that you don't know if people do. Like, I don't know how you calculate that. I don't know what the metric is. You don't know on either side if something pisses somebody off.
Sure. But no measurable amount. No one's gone broke for going woke, and no one's gone fucking broke.
Well, that's not necessarily true. I mean, Bud Light took a serious hit as a beer brand. That's true. They lost a lot of money.
And how are they doing?
I haven't looked at their sales recently, but like they took a serious hit.
They took a serious hit in their stock momentarily.
Well, I don't think that's true.
Well, it is true because I actually made money buying the Clay Travis dip. He went on Twitter. He said, sell all your Anheuser-Busch stock. And I made about $2,500 buying Anheuser-Busch stock the next day because it bounced right the fuck back up.
I mean, look, just pulling up a quick article.
Did Tesla go broke because Elon Musk was a Nazi? No, they took a huge hit in the moment. In reactive news.
Tesla is actually good. Tesla has taken, people have been pissed. Tesla has taken a huge hit in sales. That's all I'm saying. Bud Light, I was right in front of me. Bud Light has taken a huge hit year after year over year in sales. Same way for Tesla. Tesla's sales are down big time. I'm just saying they are. So people are taking stands on these issues. Tesla stock is down big time. It is. I don't know what Bud Light stock. I know they're like, I'm just looking at it right now. Their sales are down. I don't know if that's that one particular issue. I don't know. I mean, that's probably a huge part. I don't know, but
well, it's also a huge part of it is, I mean, you look at anywhere I'm thinking about calling my next special Last Comic Drinking. Young people don't drink anymore.
And that's statistically backed as well.
It's exactly, yeah. It's
young
exactly
kids, that's backed. Young kids do not drink.
For sure. So the same way you go, oh, fucking no one watches the NBA anymore. It's like basketball fans still watch the NBA. No one drinks beer anymore. Beer drinkers still drink Bud Light. Bud Light drinkers still drink Bud Light. It's just you can't keep up. Or it's the exact same thing that baseball is doing. We need to make baseball faster. Meanwhile, Bud Light's like, whoa, we need to capture the trans market. And you're like, bro, just fucking make beer. Like, no one is saying, I'm not a person that's defending their marketing team. They're doing exactly what the NFL, we need kickoffs further away or up close or whatever. Because like it's all reactionary. People, the reason Bud Light gave a trans girl beer is because their numbers were falling and they were trying to reach a young audience.
Or, I don't know what their numbers were. Or the problem with a lot of brands is they try to reach the new audience.
No brand that is like sturdy and rock, like brands that are like strong and are not going to, they never try to go, oh, we need to like keep up with the trends. They go, this is what we sell.
I agree. I mean, look, that's what's happened right now with the big Cracker Barrel thing, with the rebranding of the logo and the stores. We don't know the effects yet. Stock is down, but it's like sometimes you don't have to mess with things. And
it's Cracker Barrel. Like, are people pulling over and buying fucking knickknacks in the shops anymore?
I think. Well, first of all, my brother, there's a Cracker Barrel behind me. He used to go to it. I'm just like,
Well, hold on, but let's just break one thing down, because when you're on the road, Cracker Barrel's not that bad.
I was saying that on Andy Ruther's show. I did a whole thing on the marketing. Yeah,
Cracker Barrel's not
I
that
agree.
bad.
I agree.
Cracker Barrel's not that bad. But 50% of the floor space at a Cracker Barrel is now completely null because everybody's got a phone. You're sitting in the back of your car. You're like, I'm going to scroll on TikTok. They're like, are you sure you don't want this game where you try to flip a ball into a guy who's holding a Cubs thing? We just bought it at a Cracker Barrel. It's a fucking knick-knack shop that serves fucking chicken fried steak in the other half.
Sure.
Like, no one's buying the, like, you put the peg in the fucking thing, try to jump all the pegs and just be left with. No one wants that shit. You can play that shit on your phone.
I mean, the food, yeah, if you're traveling, the food is fine.
It's an antiquated thing, which is why they're like, we need a rebrand. Make the guy on the barrel playing with his phone so people know that we also sell apps now or some shit. I saw a great thing the other day that just said they got rid of the cracker and the barrel.
That was a great tweet.
It's great.
I saw it too. It was a great post. It's true. It's a great post. Well,
my famous Cracker Barrel joke that my mom, it's the only joke anyone ever convinced me to pull down. I had
I
had a clip. I did a stand-up show because Chris Rock's mom sued Cracker Barrel. She said she was discriminated against. And I did an impression, and I put the video up of me on stage doing an impression of Chris Rock talking to his mom. He's like, you eating that Cracker Barrel, Ma? You eating that Cracker Barrel? Now you're upset because you dealt with white people. The cracker in the name. Cracker in the name. It may as well be called We Don't Serve N-words in here. And I said it on stage. Now, I said it as Chris Rock. I was doing an impression of Chris Rock. And my mom was like, you can't be saying the N-word on the internet. And I was like, I'm not. Chris Rock saying it. But imagine a totally different world in 2005 being doing a stand-up show and being a white guy and saying it and not worrying about. I mean, I was a little worried about it, but my mom was like, that has to be off the internet immediately.
I forgot about that bit. Well, you can reach out to us. Where is it? 859-832-0478. All right. I gotta go get the kiddos from daycare.
If you guys are around LA tonight, I'll be at the Hollywood Improv for Nate Craig's album special release show. I'm on the show. Bill Burr is on the show. Nate Craig is obviously on the show. If you've heard of any of those people, you should come. Great show. And then a lot of other shows. JoePrano.com. We got another airliner show coming up on September 10th. Bunch of shows coming up, including Vegas for Thanksgiving week. So are you in Vegas for Thanksgiving? If you are, you're crazy, but I'll be there. So yeah, check me out, JoePrano.com for all the shows, at Joe Prano on all social media. And yeah, that's it. And follow Jack and follow Trackstar.
Cool. Andy Ruther for all my stuff. If you want to hear more Cracker Barrel, I go deep down. If anyone wants to dork out on the marketing stuff, I kind of deep dive into my take on the latest pod of just these agencies and these people who come up, like you were saying, with these ideas. And I'm like, they don't think about these things. And anyway, I nerd out. I go down the history of Wendy's, their social media. So you guys can check that out if you're curious.
I'm going to listen to that Andy Ruther. I'm going to listen to an Andy Ruther show. That's an interesting one for me.
We'll see.
From digital marketing director directly, but pulling the curtain back on the digital marketing director world.
I go into some of it, and it's just like it's interesting to me. Again, companies that basically, long story short, who have kept it in house, a la Wendy's, Chili's is doing it now. They're crushing it, and companies who like Cracker Barrel who go, we're gonna get 3 big New York agencies who've never set foot in a Cracker Barrel, and we're gonna decide the branding. And I'm like, that's probably not a good idea. Cool. All right, you guys have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday. And as always, stay dirty.